G'day mates, it's Thursday, January 1st, 2026, and we are at DY Beach in Sydney, Australia. Today, we're gonna go on a little walk over this headland to one of my favorite beaches, Curl Curl. Hey, I'm Brandon Queen, and thanks for joining me today. I've been meaning to start this vlog for a very long time, since maybe 7 years ago, and it's taken me so long because I've had so many distractions and so many things have happened to me, you know, over the past several years. And you know, I was living in Los Angeles actually, and I just moved here in the beginning of 2024, and I'll explain my whole story and how I got here and why I'm here and what I'm doing here. And that's part of what this vlog is to really find some sort of self-discovery of what I'm doing next with my life and where I'm going. So I'd like to take you along on our little walk, and yeah, I'd love for you to join me. So looks like we're hanging out today, so I guess we're going on a walk. Let's go. Harry, we've reached the top. Okay, maybe it's not the exact top, but I was standing just down there a moment ago, walked up some steps. So let's get started on our little walk. So the reason I'm starting this, well, there's kind of two things to it. Why am I starting this? And why am I starting it now? Well, the reason I'm doing this, and I've always wanted to do this, is because, look at that view. Oh man, I feel so lucky to live here. It's because I've always thought it'd be fun to be a vlogger. In fact, one of my dreams was always to be specifically a Disney vlogger, which is funny. I'm originally from a small farm town in California called Modesto, and I moved to LA in 2012, and I moved there with a friend, and we started a band. And we wrote an album together. That band was called Strange Heart, and we released the album. And we played a few shows, one on a little mini tour, but the band very quickly dissolved, and we ended up disbanding. And it left me kind of, you know, very disheartened and confused.
Is that such a thing?
About what I was doing and what I wanted to do. And I pretty much just gave up on music at that point. And so I was like, you know, I'm gonna be one of those Disney vloggers. I was very inspired by guys like Justin Scard and Adam the Woo, Tim Tracker, Fresh Baked. All those guys, I mean, I'd watch their videos every single day. And I had I still have an annual pass actually for Disneyland, and I'd go so many times, and I was always that friend where any of my friends that would come to visit me coming through to LA, they would always be like, oh, you gotta go to Disneyland with Brandon, he knows everything about it. And
smiling at her.
so I would watch their channels, and man, I want to do that. Like, if I'm going all the time anyway, like often by myself, by the way, which is, I know a lot of people think that's weird and creepy, but I'd go all the time by myself. And it's like, if I'm here and I'm, you know, paying for this, you know, experience, and I'm here all the time by myself,
I might as well just document what I'm doing. And so I just never had the guts, and I ended up buying all the equipment, and I did film a couple videos, but I just never posted them. And you know, it's like lack of confidence, feeling embarrassed, you know, not really knowing what I'm doing. I still don't know what I'm doing. You know, this is obviously my first vlog that I'm planning to post. So yeah, it's a lot has changed from then to now, and kind of get a little bit more into that. But check out this view. So amazing. It's incredible. One of the sort of drives or motivators for me is, I read this thing, it's probably some psychology, you know, magazine or something, where it was saying how the older you get, time moves really fast, and when you're younger, time is really slow. And I was like, oh, that's so true. Like, the older I get, I feel like this time is passing me by, and I'm getting older faster. And it explained the reason why, and the reason why is because when you're older, you get sort of stuck in these routines and repetitions, rituals, and when you're living your life every day, doing the same thing, you know, going to the same job, waking up, eating the same food, like whatever, seeing the same people, you time moves really quick for you. But when you're younger, you're you know, you're brand new to the world pretty much, and almost everything is a new experience. You know, going to school for the first time, even first grade, second grade, third grade, like all these different milestones, these mini milestones in your life are so new, and you're learning so much around the world, and it makes time move so much slower. And I just came back from a trip, you know, visiting home for Thanksgiving. I was gone for maybe a month, a little over a month, and I went back to LA. I went to New York, went to Idaho. Yeah, I went to quite a few places, and every day was something different. I was hanging out with someone new every day, catching up with old friends, and that trip felt like 6 months, which is crazy. And it made me really thinking back to, you know, man, like I need to get out more. Like I need to do stuff, because I've been sitting in my apartment here in Australia, depressed, very lonely, feeling sorry for myself, not really getting out and seeing things or exploring. And it's been making time go by really fast, and this whole year has went by really fast for me. I don't know, I feel like I'm missing out on something. And something that happened recently that really has affected me in a really big way, and a lot of people have been talking about it online and sharing very similar experiences with it. But there's someone who deeply inspired me to live every day as an adventure has recently passed away, and it reminded me that waiting is no longer an option, and I need to just do it and stop being afraid. And this person that was a really big inspiration for me, Adam the Woo, he had recently passed away on the 22nd of December, and it's been very difficult for me. And what's weird about it is it hit me right away. And I've had a lot of people in my life die. I lost my dad 2 years ago. My grandparents, all of them. I've had friends die, you know, when I was younger from accidents. And some of those friends were people that I had lost touch with after a while. But when those happened, it took me a while to process it and to grieve. For example, with my dad, when let's go over here to this little rock. When my dad passed, it took me a good week to really process it. And it wasn't until I was at his funeral that I went to hug my uncle, and I just lost it. Like, it just hit me like a ton of bricks, like the reality of it. But with Adam, for some reason, it hit me hard immediately. And that morning, I woke up to watch his next video, because I watch his videos every day, because he posts these daily vlogs every single day. And I didn't see a video, and I was like, oh, that's weird. Usually, I know once in a blue moon he'll skip a day, but he'll usually say in advance, oh, I'm not gonna film tomorrow. But that's been very, very few times he's done that. So I go on Facebook and I'm scrolling through, and I see that Justin, one of his best friends, posted all these pictures of them together, and so I liked the picture, and I didn't read the comment or like the post, and I kept scrolling, and then I thought, wait, hold on a second. So I go back and I read it, and it was basically him describing that, you know, Adam, you know, didn't wake up the next morning. And I immediately started crying and started calling friends that I had mutual friends with him, and you know, letting them know. And yeah, and since then I've been crying every day since then. And today and yesterday is the first time that I've, you know, not cried. But it's really strange, especially because I didn't know him personally. I only knew him through his channel, and it feels weird to have those feelings for someone you didn't know. Like, you know, there's been many people, like I said, there's been many people in my life that has passed. There's been a lot of celebrities, you know, that have passed that I've really looked up to and never affected me at all. I mean, not that it didn't affect me at all, but when those certain celebrities passed away, it was heartbreaking, but I didn't like have a personal feeling to it. And so, yeah, it's really affected. It's been really affecting me, and I've been watching all the videos from all of his friends posting, and all the things that they said about him. They've all said sort of the same thing, and which is he was so supportive of what they're doing, even when they doubted themselves, and you know, he was so generous with his time, and he would always invite them to be in his videos, to collaborate, even though they had like almost no followers. And he was just so proud of his friends and supportive of them, helping them with their dreams, you know, and their passions. And in a way that sort of reflected on, or I've been able to reflect on myself. And again, although I didn't know him personally, those words really spoke to me, and it felt like he was indirectly giving me encouragement and saying, look, you can do it, like, just go out there, like, what's holding you back? You know, I'm 44 years old. I just had a birthday. You know, as I said, time is moving really fast for me, and the purpose of this for me is to really have something I can look back on, and, you know, when I'm older, and look at my life and be like, oh wow, like I did all those things. And so that's kind of what this is. Now, as to what this is, and what this channel is going to be. As you can see, it's, you know, the name Neon Arcade. What is that? So that's my music project. So I mentioned I was in a band called Strange Heart that failed, and during COVID, during 2020, I bought a bunch of camera equipment, and I was planning on, you know, doing content from home, and I ended up not doing that, and instead ended up buying some equipment to record music. And what ended up happening is I ended up creating a few songs, and I was like, you know what, I want to put a song out on Spotify. That was sort of my goal. I just want one song on Spotify to kind of scratch an itch. So I put it out, and amazingly, it actually got quite a bit of listens for, you know, for being a brand new artist. It's not that much, but it's it was more than I expected. And you know, that was what, 2020, that was 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And I, at the time, I was like, okay, I'm gonna write an album. Like, I want to write 10 to 12 song album. And since then, I've been still writing this album, and I haven't finished it. So this is sort of like a way to document that journey, to see how I go with finishing this milestone in my life. And also, you know, I want to document my life here and being in this country. And I'm very nostalgic. My music is very 80s synthwave inspired, and I love, you know, 80s nostalgic culture, and it's been very difficult to find here because, you know, I didn't grow up here. The culture is, there is a different culture here, and but there's like remnants of nostalgic things here that I know I can find and I want to explore. So half of this is going to be an exploration of myself, and finding and reconnecting with, you know, nostalgia and planting roots here in this country, and trying to finish this album. And that's basically what this is. And along the way, you know, I have a few trips planned. I'm going to be going to Scotland, the UK, for a really close friend's wedding. Since I'm going to be on that side of town, I'm definitely going to be documenting everything. Also, since I'm going to be really close, I have to go to Disney Paris, because it's been on my bucket list to visit every Disney theme park in the world. And I feel like if I don't go on this trip, when will I do it, you know? So I'm going to be doing that this year. And I'm also going to be going back to the States. And towards the end of the year for Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. So I'll be able to do all the Halloween stuff that I miss. Halloween isn't really a big deal here at all. And Christmas is not, it just doesn't feel the same for me. It's hot here, it's summer. You know, it's not very festive. It doesn't have that magic feeling to it like it does in the States. So I'll be doing that. And along the way, I'll probably show you some of my recording processes, and you know, how I make my music, and showing what inspires me. And yeah, I mean, that's basically what this is going to be. I just realized that my mic has turned off at some point. I don't know how much of that recorded or how good the sound is, but hopefully I can adjust that in post. think we're about halfway through the walk. This is literally one of the most gorgeous views. Just walking along this headland. And up here, you have some very nice houses that just overlook the ocean. It's amazing. Hello, doggy. Shake, shake. Hey, how you doing? So you might be wondering, why am I here? Why am I in Australia, out of all places? That's a very good question. So back in 2011, I moved here to be with my best friend. He invited me to come out, and back then I was living in Modesto, and he and I met in Modesto. He used to live there, and he also plays music, and we used to play in bands together back in the day. And he ended up moving back here with his folks. Not with them, but like they moved here, and he wanted to be closer. So he's like, come on down, like, you can get a working holiday visa, and once you hit 30 years old, you can't get it. It'll be too late, so you should do it before you turn 30, and it'll give you some really good experience traveling. And I had never been out of the country aside from Mexico. I've never been overseas, so it was my first overseas trip. Packed a bag, came out here, and I lived here for a whole year. And at the time, I was, I just started performing magic professionally. I am a mentalist, magician, hypnotist, whatever you want to call it. That's my path, my profession that I've pursued and have been pursuing. And so when I came down here, that's what I did. And I had a couple of residencies. One was at a restaurant, and the other one was at a bar, a sports bar, where they did they did gambling in the back. And it was a great time. It was a really good experience. But by the end of that year, I felt very homesick. And I'd been away from friends and family. But what was great about the experience, the best part about it for me, was all the friends that I made. I made some really, really good friends that I'm still very close with today. And I've kept in touch with all those years. And they came to visit me a lot in LA, and which is great because when I moved out of Sydney back in 2011, I moved to LA in 2012, and that's when I started making music again with some friends. So look at that view. So I started making music, and I was living in LA, and a bunch of stuff has happened. I was working at Universal Studios for 10 years, and I had many different roles there. And part of working there, part of working at Universal Studios was sort of scratching that itch for me of wanting to be, a vlogger, because I was able to be at a theme park every day. And even though I was working, it was where I wanted to be. And initially I applied at Disneyland, but at the time they said they couldn't hire me because I had ear gauges, I had little holes in my ears, and they told me I had to sew it up in order for me to work there. So I was like, nah. So I ended up working at Universal Studios. They accepted me for who I was, and I worked there for 10 years, and it was really, really good. And still to this day is the best job I've ever had. I made so many friends working there, met so many amazing people. And at some point, I ended up, my friend Ahmed, my best friend actually, the one that lives here, that brought me out to Sydney in 2011. He told me he had a friend that he wanted to introduce me to. So he connected us, and long story short, we ended up dating and we ended up getting engaged. And so I moved here to make the relationship work. And it was really hard for me because I didn't want to move. I had built a life there, so many friends, and community. I was close to the Magic Castle, so I'm a member there. So that was really important for me to be close to that. And I gave up a lot of things to be here for that relationship. And unfortunately, or I should say maybe fortunately, the relationship ended. And it's been very difficult for me because it's sort of left me in this situation where I'm here now. I've moved everything my entire life, and now I don't know where to go. Or at least I didn't think I knew where to go. It would be financially impossible, not impossible, but very, very difficult for me just to move back. It costs a lot of money to do, a lot of time. And I'm not in a position to do that at the moment, but also I'm really starting to lean in to what my opportunities are here. And part of that is this vlog, is to document this experience. And it gives me a reason to wake up and go out and experience new things. And eventually, I would love to be able to make this a daily vlog, but I do not want to commit to something that I don't know if I can do. So right now, we're going to do once a week. Eventually, we'll move to two days a week and slowly progress from there. But yeah, that's why I'm here, and I think I'm planning on staying for a while. And there's so many things to do here, so many things to explore. Everything's new for me. And so time is going to start to move slow for me, which is what I'm really excited about. And here is Curl Curl, just over the bushes. Let's go. Made it. This beach is great because there's almost never anybody here. I mean, there's obviously people show up, but compared to all the other beaches, this one always has the least amount of people that I've found. And it's not that any of the beaches are touristy, but this one has like the least amount of like tourist people here that I've noticed. There's no like restaurants or anything around here. It's just a beach. When it really comes down to it, my hope for this channel is really, really simple. And it just comes down to three very basic things. No, I don't hope or plan or expect
to make this, make this a living or make this a job or even make money from it. That's not my intention. That's not my passion. My passion is music and, performance. That's what makes me happy. This is just sort of a companion to that, to help, maybe find some people that like what I'm doing and that I can share, or find people that share a common interest with me. But the three really main things are, the first one is I want to make time move slow for myself. I want to slow down, and I want to really give myself opportunities to do things. Now, yeah, I could just go out and, just do something different every day. But I feel like having this platform not only keeps me accountable, but it gives me a reason to go out. Because, it's, especially by myself, like, I don't have a lot of friends here. And it's hard to, make plans with people and explore stuff. And so a lot of it I'm going to be doing by myself. And I feel like having a YouTube channel and vlogging is going to help motivate me and give me a reason to go out and actually do stuff. So the first one is to slow down time. The second one, which is really the big one, is to make friends. Like, I feel really isolated here. I feel alone, and I feel like by putting this content out, the hope is that I find other people, or other people find me, that connect with the things that I'm interested in, that we share the same interests, and that they'll reach out, and maybe, I can meet them one day, and maybe if they live in a different country or a different place, I can go to where they are, and they can show me what their life is like, and I can document those experiences. But I really hope to just meet people and connect through this platform. And the third is really just to document my life and be able to have something that I can look back on in the future and kind of look at my life and, see how things have changed and progressed. And as Adam would say, do it for posterity, and just have something that, I can show, that people will look at after when I'm gone, or, if I ever have kids, which I don't think I will, but if I do, that's something that they can see. And those are pretty much the three big things is, make time move slower, make some friends, and have a video diary. And if I can accomplish those things with this, then I'll be extremely happy. And so yeah, that's what I'm setting out to do. So I guess that's it for today. And if I don't see you, thanks for sharing this day with me. See ya.